to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain your week. Got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in a question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the Green Lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts. And allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to Masters of the Nerdiverse, where we always have such sights to show you. This magic school bus of a podcast can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Google Play. I am, of course, your host, Mike G. And with me, as always, is our crazy co-host, Winter Trash Monk the Thizzer.
Peace be upon you, nerdians. I am Trash Monk the Third. That's Trash Monk.
It's going to get crazy.
Yeah.
It's just going to get...
I've got my Diet Coke and I got my spiced rum. We're mixing it together and we're doing it live. Choo-choo!
Rum? When you said that, I just imagined you floating from like a alien spacecraft with a light behind you. Hello, nerdians. I have come to deliver you from destitution. Like you're being lowered like a golden god or something. I would deliver you from the anxieties of nerddom. You know.
Yep.
And everyone. And you're wearing sandals, but you're from a different planet. Like, I don't know how that works out.
Yeah, so I'm doing great.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you look like a Romulan. You remember that one time CeeLo went to like the music awards all dressed in gold, like an alien?
Well, I remember
like
when
that.
he had change in his pocket. It wasn't enough, and he forgot me and forgot you too.
I hated that song. I hate that song.
That's all I know.
I really like CeeLo when he did his stuff with what was it? Danger Mouse? Was it Danger Mouse?
I don't.
Crazy was a good song. Crazy was a good song. Yeah, and when he was with Goody Mob, I don't know about that.
Yes, he has the Jack Black effect of he needs to have a side deal. A side person with him.
Yeah, he needs Tenacious D. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just can't do it alone. Mm-hmm. Some cats just can't do it alone, man. You know? They'll lead us to kings. They'll effing lead us to kings. Oh, yeah. So how was your week,
It
man?
was fantastic, actually. Been very productive, working on some script writing projects. I'm trying to tell myself that, it's probably never going to see the light of day, but why don't you try your a script writing, a short film? And I'm like, yeah, why not? Who's going to stop me? So, yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. So I'm working on that. Just ignore that.
Yeah.
I have, there was a Black Friday sale, as all of you know. Happy Turkey Given. Mm-hmm. And I bought Overwatch for the PC. Bought all the characters for Paladins. Bought Rocket League, and I bought CS:GO.
Wow!
And I played CS:GO once, and I was like, okay, now I know why I don't play this. It was like $7.99 for the multiplayer. So. Yeah, and I the funny thing is that I tried playing Overwatch and Paladins with keyboard and mouse, and I'm still bad at that. So guess what? Yeah. I hooked up a controller to my PC. Yes, I know people are going to be flipping out. Like I expect death mail or death threats to happen, and I've been steadily improving. Now I'm getting to the point where I'm now facing people the same level as me or higher, and now that I need to learn how to play keyboard and mouse, but it's just weird.
Yeah, like I'm going through the same thing with and this can kind of segue to my week, unless you have anything
Nah,
else.
I'm good.
That I'm good, bruh. Is that I'm learning how to play Soul Calibur on arcade stick, which is like way different than playing it on controller, and it's kind of like from keyboard to mouse to controller. You know what I'm saying? Where it's this weird disconnect. Like you know what you want to do, but your mobility, like your speed, is all kind of thrown. It's mixed up. You know what I'm saying? It's mixed up like some shake and bake chicken.
Shake and bake.
I'm just now
Shake and bake.
It's just now starting to come to me where I'm like not having to think about what I'm doing more than focus on the fight. You know what I mean? He's like, how do you do this? Like, where are my hands supposed to be? And I'm getting more comfortable with that. And I'm like, okay, maybe I can explore the cast a bit more and learn how to play some of the other characters. Because I'm not thinking about how to do a guard cancel or how to do an air juggle into critical art or anything like that. So it's getting really comfy. Black Friday did come and go, and you know, for those who celebrated, happy things, whatever, destruction of a whole nation, to rebuild on top of the ashes. Happy that day. And so Black Friday came, and the low hanging fruit of Fallout 76 was there. And what's funny, it wasn't even on sale. It wasn't like a Black Friday sale. They just dropped the price from $60 to $40 unceremoniously.
They don't need to drop no price.
That's a good ass game.
Well, and according to some.
Now, I had Black Friday and Cyber Monday to kind of mull over buying this game. Mm-hmm. And right when I was about to pull the trigger and just get it, someone was like, yeah, did you hear that, you know, 3 guys like hacked the nuking system and just crashed a server? I'm like, yeah, I'm not buying this game right now. I'm just gonna wait. So I let Black Friday come and go, and I didn't buy a thing because I just didn't see anything that tickled my fancy. But I had a real good Thanksgiving. I hung out with my family and played some video games with my cousins and talked with my peoples and had good fellowship, and it was just good times all around. I got to catch up and watch some movies. Nothing of note. I just watched some rewatched some movies I've seen before, like Usual Suspects. I felt like watching Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one, Curse of the Black Pearl, which is the only good one in my humble opinion.
That reminds me of, I almost got into a fight with somebody at the Thanksgiving that I went to. I went to a friend's house.
Nice.
And they said something about Star Wars. And I said, look, I feel like I am the Star Wars apologist, because I feel, as probably many of you know, that I'd rather take a bad Star Wars movie than no Star Wars movie at all. And then he's like, well, he said something that I didn't understand because he was mumbling because he can't stand by his words. But yeah. Okay, maybe I should tone it down because I might be working with him someday. But anyways, it was just interesting that some of the comments, the more I hear like the negativity towards the new trilogy, the more I get like firmer on my belief that they're okay. they're good. They're gonna be fine. People are gonna look back and go like, oh, they were all right. That's what they're gonna say.
Yeah, man. And this is gonna be ultra sacrilegious to the Star Wars heads. But the original trilogy wasn't Ben-Hur, guys. I mean, like, yeah, they were great, and they helped mold science fiction and action and blockbusters and all that good stuff. But they weren't like this end all be all to science fiction history.
You have to go back to like how did people take Return of the Jedi back then? No,
they didn't take it well.
And then go back to the original trilogy. I mean, the prequel trilogy.
It took it super not well.
But now compared to this new trilogy, how do they look at the prequel trilogy? I would say they've lightened up a bit.
Yeah, because they have something new to be mad at, dude. Like, this is what we were talking about before. Star Wars fanboys, not fans, but fanboys, have never enjoyed Star Wars. They never let themselves. They hate, if you go back and read the Empire Strikes Back, like reviews, they hated it. Like nobody liked it. Everyone thought the cliffhanger was dumb. And nobody liked Ewoks because they were in Empire. Ewoks are badass.
Not to cause like another debate to happen on this, but I would say that if you have an understanding, or if you've heard of Joseph Campbell, the hero of a 1,000 faces, talking about the like the commonality in hero arcs and how there's a cycle that goes on, and then seeing how George Lucas was inspired by that from the original trilogy, how that inspired the prequel trilogy, and how that is actually inspiring this new trilogy, and how Rian Johnston's The Last Jedi showed that he's actually breaking the cycle, showing that there's some massive changes happening, like trying to go like this is the person that will break the cycle of the Force. That's how I'm going. That's how I am interpreting.
You're like, I've let my opinions, and we don't want to make this a big Star Wars thing because this could be an hour show by itself. But I will say that I've always stood by the idea that the Last Jedi, in retrospect, like 20, 30 years from now on, people are going to love that movie because, like you said, it's called character and story development. Like there's a cycle to these things. You know what I mean? Like it was done in the original trilogy and it was done in the prequel. What Ryan was trying to do was break that cycle and actually have you wonder what's going to happen next, rather than. And the thing with Disney and Star Wars is that they're all, and I love Marvel movies, but they're all just meh, right? It's like you know what you're going to get. You go to the steakhouse.
Well,
you're going
to
get yourself a big steak, and you're not going to. I'm saying, I'm the first. Like there are those that are just groundbreaking films. Like Guardians of the Galaxy was a groundbreaking, different Marvel film. Like it just had a different vibe that set the tone for the rest of that phase. But for the most part, Ant-Man and the Wasp. I mean, I'm not going to say Doctor Strange because Doctor Strange was cool. For the Dark World, they're not all winners, but
they're not all
winners. Just Star Wars fans can't let themselves be happy, man. They're not all winners, dog. Anywho, speaking of things winning and not winning, you want to get into this news, my man?
I keep saying not to do. Yeah, let's do the news.
Okay, we got to think of a new news jingle so we don't get sued like 50 years in the future.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start a drum beat, and you just do like the guitar, and we'll make it up right here live. We're doing it live.
Okay,
let's do it real quick.
Time for the news.
Okay, I'm gonna isolate that, and I'm just gonna sub that in every single time. People are gonna hate it.
People are gonna hate it
because it's gonna get old really fast. But you know what, guys? Yeah. You will grow to love it. You will evolve to love it. Speaking of things that I kind of like and love, there's an upcoming Child's Play film that is going to be a reboot. I know, hang me right now. Just shoot me in the face with a double-edged shotgun. But
okay, let me get over there real quick.
Thank you. Please make sure it hits me right in the nose so I know I'm gone. Because you don't want to survive a shotgun blast to the face.
We've seen Preacher.
You've seen Preacher. You don't want to be that kid. They're planning to do viral marketing for the Child's Play remake. I think they may actually sell toys, which I think would be kind of cool. like no joke. Like they're not calling it a good guy doll anymore. They're calling it like a buddy, like My Buddy back in the day. Buddy with an I, like iBuddy. That would be cool. Not My Buddy, but iBuddy, and make it like a digital toy. That's stupid. Marketing guy's going to steal that and make millions. Dang it.
Yeah. Free money. Can you name another movie that has used viral marketing recently to great success. Well, I can't say great success.
Every time I think about viral marketing in film, I think about J. Abrams and how he's the king of viral marketing with all the Cloverfield movies. You know what I'm saying?
I was going Ridley Scott.
With what?
For Alien Covenant.
What's the viral marketing for that? I don't remember.
Alien Covenant, and then Prometheus. They made like a website for the android character.
Right. Like they were going to sell them. They were making David doll.
Yes, I guess it's a lot more common than I think, actually.
Yeah, man. Like, I like viral marketing. I like the idea of like something breaking the third wall. You know what I mean? Like the product we're selling in this film is a product you can buy. Like Jumanji. Remember when they actually had board games for Jumanji? That was like the viral marketing for that way back in the day. So viral marketing I always get a kick out of. It's always kind of cool to me. Like that's fun. You know what I mean? Like building a fake website and adding secrets to the movie like 6 months before it comes out, and people have to like decipher it. I love that stuff. That's right. That's smart marketing for me, man. Speaking of smart marketing, we got to talk about this Lion King live action trailer.
Yes, let's talk about that.
The live action trailer, live action Lion King. I have so many problems with this whole thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts on the trailer, firstly, Winter?
Well, I have mixed views about this, okay? First, do I want to be... Why am I going to see this movie?
Mm-hmm.
I already know what's going to happen.
Yep.
I already know what it's about.
Yep.
So the reason why I'd be going to see this is just to go live action, not so live action retake of a movie, which I can't necessarily support if they're not, as what I've been led to believe, giving a little kickback to the original creators of the cartoon movie, The Lion King. I believe they're the YouTube video showing shot by shot comparisons to the trailer and to the movie, and some of them are so identical, which is like, to me, it makes it look like they're clearly taking shots from the movie. We already know they're taking the storyline from the movie, but there's just there's reports of the writers of that movie, of the original, not getting a kickback.
Yeah,
which if this was like, if this was like any, if this was music, we hear it all the time of like, even back when Tom Petty was alive, he took Sam Smith to court for taking the "We Won't Back Down," just like the hint of "We Won't Back Down" into his song "Stay With Me." And they won. Tom Petty won. It looks good, but having too much of a good thing will give you diabetes. Okay, your turn.
Straight up, man. Yeah, man. You can't get what you want. You touched on a lot of things that I actually definitely feel like. One, it's not live action. Let's not mince words here.
Right.
It isn't an actual lion walking out.
If this was live action, the baby lion would have been eaten.
No, that if this was live action, Rafiki would have been eaten by the mother and father lion.
Which I would like to see.
That just doesn't fly in the animal kingdom. So, like, I get the live action appeal to something like The Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast or even Cinderella, where they're humans running around. Like, you can get actors to do the scenes, but there's nothing live action about this movie. It's a retelling of an already animated film, just with updated effects. That's all it is. And it may be a great movie, but I take a little bit of umbrage with them marketing it as a live action film. That's firstly. Secondly, the big problem is that this trailer is shot for shot. The original trailer, the opening of the film, it's shot for shot. There's tons of I've seen a ton of videos on Twitter of them just lining it up. The gazelles flying over the water, the shot of Pride Rock with all of the animals around them bowing. It's all shot for shot. And to think that none of the animators or people who originally worked on the film are getting any kind of kickback is kind of not cool. You know what I mean? Like, and I get it. Like in the scummy thing, as you mentioned earlier about Tom Petty and Sam Smith, right? How Tom Petty took him to court because he took a sample of his song and merged it into "Stay With Me," just like how Robin Thicke got sued for that one song that he stole a sample of. The scummy part is
Vanilla Ice. Oh,
Milli Vanilli, is that it's Disney owns both, so it's like there's no lawsuit to be had. You know what I mean? Chances are all those dudes who did those animations was under some kind of nutty, super convoluted contract where it's like anytime pencil goes to paper, it's ours. That's how they got Stan Lee out of Marvel, out of all getting all the marketing, getting all the residuals for all the Marvel characters he created. It's real shady, practices, especially in the 90s. So them not getting any kind of kickback or even a respectful nod is kind of rough. And I'm hearing that a lot of the music, the additional music, is coming from the stage play, which was very successful. You know what I mean? There's a lot of added music that's coming. And also, there's not going to be Prepared is not going to be in the movie, which is like my favorite Lion King song. But you can't have Be Prepared because it has some really gnarly subtext to it, which I understand. But they should be able to fix it,
Yeah, I mean, and this is a common theme that I do of probably going too far into the film to where I'm in its own butt, sort of thing, and it's like a weird snake eating its own tail scenario.
Right.
Of just what is this a sign of happening? Like we are definitely in the age of nostalgia in the cinema.
Yeah.
But this is like nostalgia minimal's nostalgia, where it's not even a spiritual sequel or like they're trying to continue the story. It's like you already know the story. Here we might add we're adding different songs, but where this is ending. And it just makes me go like, do we really not have enough? Like we not like leave this in the background and go like let's look up different stories or retelling of different stories.
It's one of those things where it's not even a reboot. First of all, like even a reboot is a different retelling from a different director, a different take on a story. How many times you can tell the story of Frankenstein or Hercules or, Wild Bill or any of these mythical or realistic characters. This is just a regurgitation of nostalgia. It's not even, and I can't say that because I haven't seen the movie. We don't know what it's going to end up being. So I can't damn it too hard. But for what I'm being shown and what I'm being marketed is that it's just the Lion King. Like there's nothing new or cool or let's tell it from Scar's point of view or let's tell it from Nala's point of view. It's nothing like that that's going to do anything different. That's not what it's showing us,
Right, and I do apologize. Actually, I was mixing up the writer there because there's been a recent like small little flame war between. I thought my mind mistook the original writers of Lion King having this war, but the Lion King has a YouTube video of shot for shot like depictions of like the cartoon and the real life and showing how they're similar. Yeah. While it's actually the writers of Aladdin that are pissed off that the opening trailer is using lines, I believe, of written dialogue that they wrote
for the movie.
Yeah, and I can't wait for the Aladdin.
I just got to see that. I'm such a curiosity cat where it's like,
what are we, some kind of Prince of Thieves?
Roll credits.
Yeah, that's a deep that's a deep inner joke for people. It has so many layers to it.
It's an onion, my good man. I just know when Will Smith does the Friend Like Me rap, I'm just gonna KIA. I'm just gonna be done because I can't handle. I'm just not gonna be able to handle it. But I'm just waiting for Lion King to thrill me. I'm just really skeptical and really jaded on Disney's approach.
You just can't wait to be thrilled. I messed up the music.
I do the C there. That's fine. Oh man! Speaking of can't wait to be thrilled, just something mostly for me and my horror love is that apparently the Tales of Unsuspected being, the Tales of the Unexpected is being rebooted for TV, and it's these short stories done by Roald Dahl, the guy who made all the horrible children's stories like The Witches, and it's just creepy stuff that they're going to be putting back on TV. And I just like horror anthologies, especially those that can be that are kid friendly. You know what I mean? Like, so I think kids need. There's those horror kids, those monster kids that need that representation on television.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been there. Like I remember when I was a kid, like Are You Afraid of the Dark was, what I'm saying, Goosebumps. Just kid friendly horror. Just to kind of see if they like it, whet their appetite into those kinds of dark entertainment. You know what I mean? Just to kind of, spark their imagination. So I hope this generation of kids put down their moms and dads' phones and actually watches a television show, that may get them into horror, because that's roughly around the age when I got into it. You know what I mean? So any thoughts on that, Winner? Any comments? Anything?
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm curious, like, what their audience is going to be, because if they're thinking about getting people the same age as those who watched Tales of the Unexpected before, that age is a lot more mature, I would say, than they were before. I don't know much about Tales of the Unexpected.
Honestly,
myself.
Me neither. I just know, like, I believe it's like a bunch of short stories.
Yeah. So I'm just going to actually shut my mouth and just wait to see what happens with this.
Yeah, I kind of just want to see like the first trailers and kind of hold my judgment until then.
Right. Well, speaking of shutting your mouth, I have something to tell you about.
Yeah, let's do it.
And this is winter's hot esports news. Dun, 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 dun,
Whoa.
dun, 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 dun.
Don't finish that. We will. Don't.
No. All right.
Don't.
As many of you know, their Overwatch has started the Overwatch League, professional esport gaming league for their game. And they have several tiers now in Overwatch. And one of them is tier 2, which there was a team which was owned by a doctor who was their CEO, manager, as well as social media manager, called Toronto Esports.
Wow.
Now, you hear the term Toronto Esports and you go, wait a minute, isn't there already a team with Toronto in the title? Well, of course, there's Toronto Defiant, which is the head chief. Like, they are leaps and bounds above Toronto Esports.
Mm-hmm.
So the owner of Toronto Esports, this is the beginning of the drama, posts on Twitter going, hey, why don't we have a competition between Esport and Defiant to see whoever wins gets to keep the name Toronto in their name.
Wow. And
then he posted a timer, like, still waiting. And then people online were defending like Defiant, like, Defiant's not going to respond. There's no reason for Defiant to respond to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they lose, then they just lost to a minor league team. Yeah. If they win, they just defeated a minor league team like a bully. that sort of thing. So there's no reason for them to be talking. And then this doctor, CEO, general manager started like direct messaging people, like calling them idiots and like they don't understand what's going on, bullying them. And I guess Blizzard the Overwatch League was taking it with a grain of salt, but I guess recently, November 12th, actually, so this is slightly dated, but it just came to my attention. Blizzard Overwatch League sent them Toronto Esports a cease and desist that they must remove Toronto from their name because they cited that when the company that owns Toronto Defiant purchased a spot in the Overwatch League, they bought exclusive naming rights, which means that they own the territory of Toronto.
Let me know. Yes. Talk about putting your foot in your mouth. Like, what a scumbag. Okay. And
they would, and by the way, they have two different Los Angeles teams, and they can live mutually like together, and they're in the pro league. If Toronto Esports just kept their mouth shut, this would not have been an issue.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's
Toronto Esports has now left Contenders, which is like the minor leagues. Like that's how they get rookie players. That's their feeder. And they've left Contenders and Overwatch altogether.
This is a certain kind of person that just rubs me the wrong way in all facets of life. It's the squeaky wheel gets oil mentality of some people, right? So
yeah.
Some people go through their whole life like if I complain or if I scream loud enough, I will get the attention that I deserve because I deserve it, right?
Right.
So we have this just make sure I'm wrapping my brain around this news is that this doctor dude created a minor league esports Overwatch team, right? And he pretty much called it the Toronto Esports, which is the most unoriginal name I can think of. Might as well just call yourself the Los Angeles Football. And then he started blasting the actual official Toronto team. Hey guys, you guys, why don't we just fight over the name? We can have a battle of wits or whatever. We're gonna kick your butt. And started like flaming them. Where to people were rationally saying, look, you're not even a blip on their radar. Like this is an official, ultra official team. You don't see people, leaving the park to go challenge the Lakers. Hey guys, if we win, we get to be the Lakers. What? They have this for, like you were saying, Toronto is in a lose-lose situation. You know what I mean? If they accept this, either they lose to this minor league team on a fluke and they lose those rights because chances are it'll be all ironed out, or they win and they've just officially wasted their time. You know what I mean? And then this guy gets blown up by the actual Overwatch League and says, you know what? You guys are just finished. Like, you can't have this name anymore because you got all the attention that you deserved. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think things could have been handled a lot better. I think so. I think that there should be a commissioner for the Overwatch League for these situations myself. Yeah. Maybe there is. I just don't know. But at the time that I think Overwatch is in a questionable zone right now. There's a couple of professional players that one of them has just said that they uninstalled the game. They're done with Overwatch now. Yeah. And one of the major streamers of Overwatch has Siegel did a 20-minute YouTube video about if there's something wrong with Overwatch. So So there's a little bit of some problems going on in the Overwatch community, but I think those will be disappearing once the season starts, and then people pick up the game again. I think what we're gonna see in the future, or what's happening right now, is that once there's a particular season of a game of an esport game, then you'll see the numbers go through the roof of people playing that game.
Yeah.
And it will be like the best way I could describe it is PE in high school, where you'll play basketball for a month and then you'll go play football. That's the way that I would like to see it happen, but no one listens to the trash monk.
No, I find it fascinating how you have games that last the test of time based on their niche, like Dota or League of Legends.
CSGO.
CSGO, let's go, bro. Like you never see lulls in their niche, because people who watch these love it, right? Mm-hmm. But do you think that Overwatch has taken a hit due to the popularity of Battle Royale games and people just not paying attention to it?
It's taken a hit that it's just not the new thing on the block anymore. I mean, it's been Overwatch, I think, within when I was in high school. So you're looking at maybe 7 years old.
Yeah,
I'll look that up, but it's definitely taking the Battle Royale scene is taking over.
Do you think we're at a place
2016? Okay, so it's only 2 years.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I don't think anyone expected PUBG and Fortnite to do what they did. No. I don't think that was in anyone's kind of radar, and I think it kind of gimped the time frames for a lot of these games that do have esports clout. You know what I mean? Like Overwatch was the top dog for pretty much all those 2 years. They were the top dog, and they were bullying anyone who tried to step on their toes. You know, with the Battleborns and all these other kind of knockoffs. But do you think and you can tell like people are dropping off of Overwatch dramatically because it's just there's something missing. You know,
Well, yeah. The thing is, Overwatch, as a lot of people have pointed out recently, is that the reason why people stop playing Overwatch isn't because they've played so much that they're tired of it. It's just the toxicity of it.
Yeah.
So it's a game that does not reward people from coming back, and it doesn't punish people who are toxic in the sense that we would like to see them punished.
And finding that balance and it's something I don't see, or maybe I'm just not close enough to the scene. I don't ever hear about that like in Dota or in League of Legends, of just rancid toxicity that a Call of Duty or even Fortnite I've heard like can be very rough. But these companies are finding ways to kind of police trolls or police toxicity within the community. And it seems like Blizzard just I won't say doesn't care, but it seems like they're just not finding a good solid game plan, because there's no reward system in Overwatch. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, it's constantly taking away. It's like, okay, you only get so many points from winning a competitive match, but if you lose a match, oh no, you're going to get dinged. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's an uphill battle, and there's nothing rewarding about it. Like, okay, we won, but there's no growth to a character, you know?
Right, but you can't add too much growth. That's the thing. If you add too much...
Right. It's a funky balance.
Yeah.
Like, I'll tell you my Overwatch experience. Like, I booted up Overwatch maybe a couple of weeks ago because I just wanted to I wanted to test out the new character.
Ash.
Right? So I jumped in Overwatch, and normally when I first booted up, I jump into a mystery round. So I can just get a refill of the game speed, kind of play as a bunch of different characters, die, take W's, take L's. And I got to Hanzo, and I used to love Hanzo. He was one of my mains. And they've changed Hanzo so much that I don't even recognize the character. Like his aiming system's completely different. Like his secondary effect is different. He just feels, I was like, ew, like what did they do to my boy? Like they remixed him in a weird way. And it totally turned me off. Like after I touched that, I was like, no, I'm straight. They made Ryu a charge character pretty much. I just was like, I can't do it. And I wanted to try Wrecking Ball, and I don't know. I used to have so much fun with that game. Now I can't keep it on for more than 10 minutes. I don't know what it is. I just don't. I don't know. Hopefully they'll figure it out and turn it around. Because, there's money to be made from that game still.
I mean, and we're saying all this, and they have sponsors for the league. And if they can still, and the goal is if they can still make money off of this, they are going to keep supporting it. And they signed a deal with not just Toyota and some other company, Xfinity, I think, for the postseason tournament, but they also made a deal with ESPN and Disney, a streaming service to watch the postseason. So there is interest. People just need to chill out, but we can move on from that.
Well, that's the moral of the story. Hey, trolls, stop being trolls, guys. Mm-hmm. Speaking of trolls, so there's, and I know we're kind of getting long in the tooth, so I do want to talk about this. Is that, did you hear that full copies of Smash Brothers Ultimate leaked 2 weeks before the actual launch of the game? And people are livid about it, dude. Like, so apparently, Nintendo, usually they ship out copies of their games a couple of weeks in advance.
Right.
So stores are ready to sell them on the date, like midnight, get your copy of Smash, right? But of course, there's always jokers that, go into the back room, take 2 or 3 copies and burn them and then put them online for everyone to hack and to pirate. So people are spoiling the end of the storyline. People are posting videos of them playing it on their Switches at home. It's just really bad. You know what I mean? And there's an opinion out there that, well, why don't Nintendo just release the game early since other people are already playing it? And I'm like, that's not the answer. Like, it still needs to release when it releases. It sucks that the game got leaked, but I don't know. I get it. Like, people are just like, why are they playing and I'm not? It's like, well, they stole it.
Right.
Like this, that, once you throw law out of the equation, then you shouldn't feel bad about that. You know what I mean? Like, what do you do? Like, you just wait, unless you want to be a thief too,
yeah. Yeah, it's very strange that people are going like, I need to play this 2 weeks before launch. It's strange to me for that to happen, but I can see it. It's like the lure of the Ring kind of thing. Like, how can you go, like, you're in a video game store, there's copies in the back, and you just hear the whoa 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 in the back. Yep.
My precious, and it's this culture, dude. It's like, I bought God of War early out of fear because I didn't want that game spoiled for me because the internet can't help itself. You know what I mean? If the game is out, the game comes out Friday, there's already thumbnails of final bosses on Saturday morning. You know what I mean? Like, it's so, and you have to kind of either A, take your time and play it, but be off the internet completely until you play it, or buy it the first day with everyone else so you're not spoiled. You know what I mean? And that sucks because you can not even be hunting for the information. You can just be on your Twitter feed and just somebody will post it. Hey guys, check out this image of the last 5 minutes of the game. Or did you guys hear that so-and-so is so-and-so? It's like, you're spoiled. That's it. And this is with movies. Like, I had to yell at people, like, don't put any Infinity War spoilers on my wall. Like, I'm not going to see it at midnight. I'm going to go see it Saturday. Don't spoil me. Like, it's the worst. Like, you kind of have to put yourself on media blackout until you experience it. And there's guys who are spoiling this game for people who are interested 2 weeks before they can even touch it. You know what I mean? And that's rough, man. That's ultra rough.
Yeah. But like I said, I'm still curious to see what happens. I'm still stoked for that game.
Yeah, this game may finally spur me to buy a Switch. I don't know. Because this is quite the long article, I kind of let's close out the show with this last one. There's a couple other things on the docket I can talk about, but let's talk about this. And I think this is really, really fascinating. So Guillermo del Toro, Mexican filmmaker, Oscar award-winning nerd of pillar of the nerdiverse, had a lot to say recently on Twitter about some of his completed unproduced screenplays and projects that he just has at the house. And if you've seen this man's house, is literally just like a museum of weird stuff, which one day, hopefully, I'll be able to see before I pass away. And so Guillermo del Toro set out a list of all the films that he just has ready to go. If a studio wants to make it, they can make it today. Yeah, he was like, these aren't passion projects. These are things I'm working on. He's like, no, these are all done. From the beginning of the film to the end of the film, they're ready to go. It just needs money and the filmmaking process. So I want to do a little game, really quick, winner. Is I want to go through and quickly say the movie and say the quick description, and I want you to give me a thumbs up, a middle, or a thumbs down.
I'm ready. And
this is based upon your interest to see this made into a real thing.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give mine after you give yours. So let's do this really quick. The first one on the list is The Witches, being developed by Robert Zemeckis and Alfonso Cuarón. I think that's the guy who did Gravity. Oh, this sounds so cool. And it was going to be an adaptation of Roald Dahl's The Witches.
Thumbs down.
What? Shut up. Okay, I got it. Why? Have you ever seen The Witches, the original film with Angela
I don't think I've seen it, so I'm going to have to...
Oh, this is one of the cooler ones, dude. The Witches is one of the scariest PG movies ever made. You have to watch The Witches. It's frightening. It's about this cabal of witches that live in England, and they kidnap children and eat them and turn them into mice and lure them with chocolate. It's like the most terrifying thing ever.
I'll become a mouse if you give me some chocolate. Okay, move on.
Same here. All right, I can't gush about The Witches. We got to move on. So that's a thumbs up for me, thumbs down for winner for The Witches. Okay. Next one is Justice League Dark.
Thumbs up, whatever this is going to be.
Film. Okay. Was a DC film set up by Warner Brothers that would have focused on the supernatural side of the DC universe, with characters including Swamp Thing, Etrigan the Demon, and
Thumbs up, man.
Directed by Guillermo del Toro, ready to go. God, this is a thumbs up. You know how real that would be? Can you imagine the creature? Can you imagine a Guillermo del Toro design?
I just want Constantine.
First of all,
all I want.
Constantine. Like Etrigan the Demon would be looking amazing. Zatanna the Magician, dude. Like I can't get much thumbs up to that. Okay, moving on. Beauty and the Beast was set up to be at Warner Brothers before Disney decided to make a live-action adaptation of the animated film.
Thumbs down.
Beauty and the Beast, directed by Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah,
thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
I give it a half thumb because I liked Crimson Peak, which he directed, which I think will kind of be in the same vein, like a dark romantic drama, kind of taken seriously. I think that would be kind of cool. And I'm just curious to see how his take on the Beast would be. So I think that would be kind of fascinating. Moving on. So that's a middle ground for me. Thumbs down for winner on Beauty and the Beast. At the Mountains of Madness is the adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's classic story that fans have been waiting to see since Guillermo del Toro first announced he was working on it. The film would have followed a National Geographic special on a crew that disappeared in an exploration mission. The project was shut down by Universal because they didn't want to make a big budget R-rated film.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. So they're going to do like a found footage.
Oh no! Sorry, thumbs down. If it's found footage.
How do you take this line? The film would have followed a National Geographic special on a crew that disappeared in the
I
exploration
predicted
mission.
I'm hoping that means that it's like they follow a crew that's going through like King Kong style, Jack Black, like quick, get the film. Oh, let's get out of here. Yeah.
Right. Kind of like Anaconda.
Yes.
Where it's this film crew that is
filming
just
a film
the
crew.
jungle. It's not necessarily. Yeah, I don't think Guillermo del Toro would ever do found footage because he can't get as crisp as he likes to get. So I'm giving it a thumbs up. I'm going to throw out the found footage thing because that's just me saying hearsay. Yeah. So a thumbs up for Winter and a thumbs up for me, right? At the Mouse of Madness. Fantastic Voyage was going to be made in collaboration with James Cameron, with David Goyer helped to write the script. Fantastic Voyage.
Slide, I don't know. I'm an if.
I'm going thumbs.
Yeah.
Are you middle ground? I'm going thumbs down because I hate David Goyer so much.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
Hot. Can't do David Goyer at all. Can't support him. Moving on. That is a half thumb and a thumbs down for me for the Fantastic Voyage. The Coffin was also filmed that James Cameron was attached to. It was said to be a modern adaptation of the classic Frankenstein story.
Yeah, I would watch that.
I'll watch it. I give this a halfway. Just curious to see. He's one of those directors where you just want to see what he would do with it. You know what
I would give it a few years before doing that movie, just because we've had the Frankenstein Chronicles, and we've also had Penny Dreadful that had Frankenstein in it. So we are Frankenstein heavy drunk right now.
And you can't forget Frankenstein.
No, I can. Moving on.
Moving on. So that's a half a thumb for me. And what was that for you? A half a thumb or a thumbs up?
That's a thumbs up later on. Yeah.
Okay, that's a future thumbs up. With Winter has an eye patch and a giant plasma cannon. Okay. For the future. The Count of Monte Cristo is a passion project that Del Toro has been trying to get off the ground for decades. It was said to be a steampunk style film set in the Wild West. What?
And I hope that I mean, I would give it a thumbs up. I would prefer it not as a film, but maybe a TV show for some reason. But
yeah, kind of like a Showtime.
Yeah, or direct to Netflix.
There's a couple. Netflix original would be great. There's a couple of things that scream at me. Is this is a passion project he's been working on for decades. So Lord knows how long he's been letting this marinate in his brain. 2, I like steampunk aesthetic. I'm a big steampunk guy. Like those dudes who did the steampunk versions of Ghostbusters is so cool. And always like a Wild West film. I love Westerns. So I would be super down to see what this would actually be. It kind of gives me a Wild Wild West vibe with Will Smith because of the steampunk in the Wild West. So I don't know. I'm giving it a thumbs up just because it sounds dope. So that is a thumbs up for me. And you said a thumbs down?
I think I said a thumbs up.
Okay, thumbs up. So 2 thumbs up. Sounds good. Okay. Mephisto's Bridge is an adaptation of Christopher Fowler's novel Spanky.
Thumbs down.
It tells the story of a Faustian. That's just let me finish. It tells because that name of Spanky is not really selling me, but
Spanky.
It tells the story Spanky of a Faustian pact between a thwarted yuppie and an ancient demon named Spanky, who wants in exchange for his wealth and status, but not his soul, but his body. Can we change the name from Spanky?
Nope.
and I'll roll with it. If Spanky's a deal breaker, then I got to give it a thumbs down. It sounds like a sitcom.
Thumbs down. You know? Sitcom with like Howie Mandel and
in like
Tom
some
Lennon,
serious actor. Ernest Borgnine.
Okay.
Not feeling that one, dude. Okay, both thumbs down for Mephisto's Bridge, even though that is a cool name. This one hurts. Pacific Rim 2
The
would have been a
Atlantic.
very different movie.
Okay, go on.
Right. Nice. The Indian River would have been a very different movie than the one we got from Stephen DeKnight. Del Toro's had different plans, but was dropped because he had to make The Shape of Water, which is obviously the better choice.
Yeah, in the long
Would you
run.
have waited an extra 5 years? Yeah, I mean, in the long run, yeah, it's an Oscar-winning film. But would you have been like, I didn't watch
Neither have
Pacific
I.
Rim Uprising or whatever it was called, and I have no desire to watch it because it just looks dumb. But this is one of those things where it's like, just wait until the man wants to do it. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't another Mad Max until the original director, like 20 years later, decided to make another one, and it was amazing. Just wait. You know, sometimes
somehow connected to the rest of the
just gotta
kaiju
wait.
verse. Like I thought that's what they were planning
Yeah.
on doing.
Or like a weird mix of Mechagodzilla, like a mix of of Jaegers and kaijus. But I didn't see the second one, so they may have done that. I don't know. There's a movie called Superstitious, which we don't know anything about other than the name is called Superstitious. So
yeah, thumbs down unless it's an hour and a half of Stevie Wonder playing Superstitious on repeat. Or no, it's a documentary of the conspiracy of whether Stevie Wonder is blind or not. What?
That's rough, dude. I think you just may have figured out the.
Hey, I come in at the last second.
Man, you clear it out. Is Stevie Wonder blind?
Look at the facts. There's this video that I love showing people that is like dead, like truly believes that Stevie Wonder is not blind because there's like a mic stand that's falling and he goes to grab it before it falls, and then you hear the X-Files music in the background.
Yeah. No, it's just Stevie Wonder's on that Daredevil tilt where he could just sense everything.
Yes.
Stevie Wonder.
By the way, yeah, they're missing a whole good storyline where Daredevil is broken. Like they just take it from Dark Knight Rises or whatever of Daredevil's broken. He has to go back to a sensei, and it's Stevie Wonder. Okay,
it's Stevie Wonder. Oh yeah, that's strong. That's too strong. Fact or fiction. There's a couple. Okay, let's get through these because we're running a bit long in the tooth. He was going to make a film adaptation of Haunted Mansion, a remake, darker and scarier than the classic Disneyland theme attraction. Ryan Gosling at one point was attached to the film, but obviously it fell through. Guillermo del Toro directed Haunted Mansion based on the Disney ride.
Yeah, I would watch it. A thumbs up.
Yeah, that's one of those where it's like you'll see a trailer and it's super cool, and it's just that right mix of child friendly but scary, which I was just talking about earlier. Thumbs up. I'll check it out. This one hurts. The Hulk TV pilot was set up for ABC in 2010. Guillermo del Toro was going to handle the Hulk, but it was never meant to be. I remember this. I remember them talking about this. He wanted to do like a Bill Bixby style dramatic ABC drama about the Incredible Hulk. Oh, thumbs up.
Yeah, I can't go. I need some more Hulk mania in my life. Thumbs up.
Let it run wild. So that's 2 thumbs up on the Hulk. This is an interesting one. The Buried Giant would have been an adaptation of Kazuo Ishiguro's 2015 novel. It's set after the death of King Arthur, and focuses on a strange mist called mass amnesia throughout the land. And a elderly British couple is set off to find their son, who has been missing for years. Because of the amnesia, they can scarcely remember anything about him.
That's too much going on.
That seems weird. That's a lot going on, man. Oh, man. I hope you like that dense soup. The middle ground.
Yeah, middle ground. I would probably watch it on Netflix, but I'm not going out to see that.
Yeah. AMC. That sounds... I need a trailer, my man. There's a movie called Drood, which is supposed to be about the life of Charles Dickens. That'll be... middle. I don't know. Are there any monsters that Charles Dickens had to kill when he was back in the live?
Throw an Iron Man in that. Maybe I want it.
Yeah. Throw a Thor.
Throw a Barbarella. Okay.
Oh man, don't get me started on Barbarella, my man.
Hold on, throw in an Adrian Barbaro. There we go. That's a deep cut for the MOTN universe.
That's a deep cut for the MOTN fans. Yeah, have Charles Dickens fall into the Barbarella.
There we go.
Yeah. So the List of Seven was an adaptation by Mark Frost in 1993. It's a cult murder mystery novel. It talks about Arthur Conan Doyle as he joins forces with a special agent to pursue a deadly cabal of Victorian Satanists known as.
I love that type of stuff. Oh yeah, let's do it. I would watch that.
That sounds dope. That's a big.
I love it whenever they have like writers turning out to be like detectives themselves.
Heroes.
Like whatever that. What was that? John Cusack, cool. Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, he was like finding a killer.
Yeah. They assume that they're not crazy writers. They think that they actually have something to contribute.
Man, Edgar Allan Poe saw stuff, man. Like that dude, he saw some wicked stuff. He saw Cthulhu once. Drove him crazy, so he dated his cousin.
Yeah. Well, that's not too crazy. All right, next question.
Wow. I see that winner condones kissing cousins.
Elvis Presley did it.
Confirmed. He's good enough to do it. And lastly, we have The Wind in the Willows. It's going to be a live action and CG animated hybrid based on the children's book. Apparently, Disney was looking to do some silly stuff with it. So Del Toro walked away saying, no good.
Yeah, I would watch it. It would make millions.
It would make millions. I don't know much about The Wind of the Willows. I didn't read it as a kid, so I don't know.
I remember in the cartoon there was some judge animals snorting snuff, cocaine or whatever, and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. All right,
nice. I'll give it a halfway just for cocaine judge animals, cocaine judges that happen to be foxes. That was fun. I think all in all, we were more positive than negative
because
on the scripts that are just floating
because
around.
all of them, even though some of it was like a rehashing of old stories, that it's Guillermo del Toro. He's going to add stuff to it to make it original, make it cool, in my opinion.
Right. Now, is this a kind of a now to end this story? Do you feel like this is kind of a bad move on his part because it's the Schrodinger's cat of these properties that now that the cat's out the bag, do you think any producer or filmmaking company is going to touch these?
I think they'll still touch it. They might consider it. He might not be the director. He might be like a producer sort of thing, or a second chair director, or like having a Steven Spielberg Poltergeist style directing thing going on.
Oh, that was the roughest, but I see what I mean.
It's I don't know if it's killed it sort of thing.
Because there's a certain surprise that these companies like to. What do you mean he's making a Frankenstein adaptation? That's
but
cool.
It's still there's like several. There's like Scorsese, and I think whoever did Prisoner, or who am I thinking of? David Finch. Yeah, where there's a list of movies that he wants to make, or like Christopher Nolan, he has movies that he wants to make.
Yeah. I think I just hope there's a couple of these like Justice League Dark. I just give me that.
Just make that an HBO TV show.
Yeah, just don't put it somewhere where I can put it on the DC universe. Like just put it somewhere where I can imbibe it and just put it in my veins. In the Mountains of Madness, it's just one where it's like, ooh, like I can go for that.
Not how I would tackle H.P. Lovecraft myself. if I'm going to sound like a stuck-up nerd, not the way I would tackle H.P. Lovecraft myself. But
someone once told me, I've heard once, just from these guys I watch on YouTube, they said something really poignant. It's like, I don't like Cthulhu in literature I like Cthulhu as he's told to me via pop culture. You know what I mean? Like, reading Lovecraft is really dry and racist and
all right. Can we get to an H.P. Lovecraft conversation without bringing up his blatant racism?
Well, it's hard not to, my man.
Now you're gonna
like it's hard
now,
to. Like,
can we talk about the Cosby Show without talking about Bill Cosby?
Wow, is that where we're going here?
That's where we're going.
Fine. Like,
can we talk about Roseanne without talking about Roseanne?
Damn, no. Thank you, Winter. You just made my point. Without even me having to say anything.
I am a smart cookie when I have rum and Diet Coke.
Hell yeah, we got to get you liquored up before every show now. Oh man! Speaking of that, what are you looking forward to, my man?
There is a podcast I listen to called, and I've checked it out for real this time, called The Writers Panel. It's hosted by Ben Blacker, who is a part of a writing duo who started off the Thrilling Adventure Hour. They've written some things for DC and other comic book companies. I believe they wanted to do Swamp Thing, but that didn't happen. So he's written a comic series called Hex Wife. And this has sparked a certain series that he's going to turn into a podcast itself, where it's a commentary where he goes through page by page talking about the production of the comic book. And I'm excited about that because I'm wanting to learn more about the art of comic writing, we will say.
Yeah, man, that's what's up for future reasons, Doug.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of goes into what I'm excited about is that there's a lot of wheels in motion for the future of MOTN and kind of what we want to do for the end of the year and beyond, into 2019, probably 2020. So there's some things that are being set in motion I'm very excited about that may really change the dynamic of the content that we put out. So I'm just really working on that. I do apologize to my Twitter followers. I haven't been posting as often as I usually do because the holidays on top of my own 9-to-5 have been very taxing this end of the year. So I do promise to be more on point about that, and please stick with us. As you see, we have our weekly shows, but I want to do more. So definitely thank you for sticking around for that. And I'm looking to play in some more Soul Calibur because I need to get better. And looking forward to December because I do want to close out the year strong. So we're going to have a lot of Christmas content, Xmas content, whatever you call it. And I want to do something for New Year's. So stay tuned for that. Absolutely. Any final thoughts before we close this bad boy out?
Yeah, check me out on Twitter, Tinder, Bumble, at TrashMonk III. That's TrashMonk III. And I'm also on Facebook and Instagram under that same TrashMonk III. I always release something every day on my social media, always toying with different ideas, have my hands in several different pots, and I hope that you like what I cook.
Man, bruh, did you just say catch me on Tinder?
No, but I will say catch me outside. How about that? Got him.
Damn, catch me outside. How about that? On that note, if you want to cash us, you can definitely visit our Patreon, where with the humble donation of $1 a month, you can help support the show and make us bigger, badder, and uncut. If you wanted to support us non-monetarily, you can always like our content, subscribe to our channel, and comment on our episodes. So let us know what you think. If we're awesome, if we suck, let us know. We'd love to hear from you either way. I've been, of course, your host, Mike G.
And I've been your host, Winter Trashmonk III.
And we will always ask you to take that one step beyond.